Logan Paul faces off against Floyd Mayweather Jr. this coming weekend. Here's everything to know. Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are fighting this weekend. Yep, it snuck up on me too. Their long-discussed boxing match takes place on June 6 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Here's everything you need to know. Start time. In the US, the PPV starts at 8 p.m. EDT, 5 p.m. PDT, on Sunday, June 6. In the UK, the PPV starts at 1 a.m. BST on Monday, June 7. In Australia, the PPV starts at 10 a.m. EST on Monday, June 7. How to watch. The easiest way to watch online is via FanMio. Those who want to see the fight will need to get pay-per-view access. A ticket to watch the fight comes with a t-shirt and costs $49.99, £36, 64 Australian dollars. FanMio's site says that 20 U.S. residents who sign up for FanMio will also get a video meet and greet with the fighters, and the giveaway rules say those winners do not have to buy the fight to enter the drawing. There are other ways to watch, however. In the US, you can pay Mayweather's usual partner Showtime $49.99 to watch the fight. In the UK, you can watch via Sky Sports box office for a relatively cheap £16.95. In Australia, you can watch via Main Event for $49 Australian dollars and 95 cents, which cheaper than you'll be paying on FanMio, but you'll need access to Foxtel to access Main Event, which makes things trickier. If you don't already have a Foxtel subscription, best to just go the FanMio route. Fight details. This special exhibition is slated for 8 rounds, which you can expect to be 3 minutes long. Logan Paul has to weigh in at 190 pounds or under for the fight, otherwise he'll be fined an eye-watering $100,000 for every pound he goes overweight. Mayweather will most likely weigh in at around 160 pounds and will face a massive size disadvantage. Paul is around 6 foot 2 inches with a 76-inch reach, whereas Mayweather is around 5 foot 8 inches with a 72-inch reach. Full fight card. It's a pretty lean one, only 4 fights. Floyd Mayweather vs. Logan Paul. Badou Jack vs. TBA. Jarrett Hurd vs. Luis Arias. Chad Johnson vs. Brian Maxwell. Who is Logan Paul? The 26-year-old Ohio native and his brother, Jake, first became famous for their Vine and YouTube videos. Paul then moved to LA and dabbled in all sorts of forms of entertainment, from acting to running a clothing line. He's not without controversy. In 2018, he was heavily criticized for filming a dead body in a Japanese forest known as a location for suicide, and YouTube has yanked ads from his channel for questionable content in the past. But his fans don't seem to care. His YouTube channel has more than 22 million subscribers. As for sports, Paul was a high school athlete, participating in wrestling and football. But his boxing record isn't exactly long. In 2018, he fought British YouTuber KSI, real name, Olaji William Olatunji, to a majority draw in what was considered an amateur match. In 2019, the two held a rematch that was considered a professional bout, ending in a split decision victory for KSI. So with 0 victories to his credit, he's decided to take on a famous undefeated boxer. As you do. Who is Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Mayweather is the best boxer of his generation. Courtesy of Showtime. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is quite a bit older than Paul, at 44. And he's much more experienced in the ring. He won 15 major world titles in 5 weight classes, with a 50-0 record in the sport, a bronze medal in the 1996 Olympics, and 3 U.S. Golden Gloves championships, among other titles. Note that he won that Olympic medal when Logan Paul was just a year old. So why, then, is the undefeated former champ taking on a YouTuber who's never won a fight? It's not about the boxing, the fight won't count anywhere, it's an exhibition. Think those two irresistible elements, money and fame. It's likely that only the promise of another lucrative payday could convince Money Mayweather to put on his gloves again, and Paul provides an opponent with major name recognition despite a paucity of boxing experience, The Washington Post reported. The newspaper noted that for Paul, it's not about who wins, but about the exposure, which makes him even more famous and opens up more opportunities and future paydays. That's the bare essentials, but if you want to catch up on the juicy, possibly manufactured drama in the lead-up to the fight, the Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul confrontation? No, that is not a typo. Despite the fact Floyd Mayweather is fighting his brother Logan Paul, Jake Paul got into quite the situation with Mayweather, by stealing his baseball cap after a press conference for the Logan Paul vs. Floyd Mayweather fight. Twitter thread shows most of the best footage. Jake Paul and Mayweather had a confrontation, they talked back and forth about a fight between them, Jake Paul snatched up Mayweather's hat and then all hell broke loose. Regardless of whether it was a publicity stunt or not, this has stirred up quite an amount of attention on social media. Everyone is going to make a lot of money.